Yo, what's going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So Counter-Strike tweeted out a couple of big new updates to the Counter-Strike 2 limited test or the closed beta or whatever you want to call it today. And obviously I would argue that all the good changes for Counter-Strike 2 are really good for Counter-Strike investing, because obviously if the game is better, there's going to be more players, they're going to keep them around longer, they're going to spend more money, and in time that's going to help the entire market go up, all the different items. So really, like I said, any hype CS2 news, any good CS2 news is really good for everything. And I think a lot of these changes are awesome. You know, you can now refund stuff. They're adding this new loadout system. They have the circle that shows where your footsteps can be heard. So many quality of life changes, so many good updates to the game, which is awesome. But one of the biggest changes in this thing, I think, is greatly going to affect M4 prices going forward. I think that both the M4A4 and the M4A1S skins are going to skyrocket, are going to go to the moon. At least, this is the argument that I'm going to make over the next couple months, over the next year or so, because of one of these changes. And this is the change here. They tweeted out any 5 pistols, any 5 mid-tier weapons, and any 5 rifles. Today's Counter-Strike 2 update introduces a revised loadout system where players select 15 weapons from 3 categories on CT and T side to bring with them into matches, including the M4A4 and the M4A1S. So now you can have equipped at the same time the M4A4 and the M4A1S on CT side. Now, I think that is a great change for so many different reasons. I think it's a great change for in-game, because right now so many players have to decide between the M4A4 and the M4A1S, not round to round based on which is going to be the best for where they're playing or best for their team or best for a certain scenario or economical or whatever. They have to decide just, hey, I'm randomly going to pick the M4A1S or the M4A4 before the game, and hopefully it ends up being the best fit for my team and my play or whatever. I think that's going to be great for the game. I think it's also going to be great for the esports side. It's going to add in so many strategical decisions and all that stuff. But the reason I think it's going to be great for the investing side is right now, so many people, obviously big time investors, they're going to get whatever skins they think are going to be the best investments. They're going to get the collector items. They're going to get, the biggest and best everything. But for so many people, in real life, they're on a budget, or they just have enough money for one really big skin or one really good skin or whatever. Most people either play with the M4A1S or they play with the M4A4, especially casual players, especially players who are maybe not as super hardcore as a lot of other people. They play with one of those guns, and for whatever gun they play with, they have, their one big skin or their one favorite skin or whatever. But now, the fact that everyone is going to be able to use both of them, and I most likely assume that, for most of the time, the meta is going to be running both of them. Who knows exactly how the meta is going to shake out, or buffs and nerfs or whatever. But now the fact that the same people can use both and are likely going to want and need a skin for both, which is, main rifles in the game, which have really good skins, expensive skins, awesome skins, high price skins, all this stuff. I really think this is going to be good. Every M4 player every A4 player is now going to want an A1S skin. Every A1S player is now going to want an A4 skin, when otherwise they would have maybe not been in the market for those things. So, taking a look at some of the M4A1Ss and the M4A4s that I think are going to be doing the best. I don't necessarily know that the super ultra high tier for the A1S or the A4 is going to be much affected by this, but I could really see the middle to upper tier being affected a ton. Now, I think the lower tier, they're a little too common, they're a little too cheap. Those aren't probably going to matter too much, but I could see a lot of the supply in like the $100 to multiple $100 skins on both of these really getting a big boost. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on stuff like the hot rod. I think is an awesome one. The blue phosphor. I really think the Icarus Fell is going to be a huge winner from this whole thing. Obviously, an older skin, a more rare skin, a very cool skin, and a skin that's a little bit more limited. I think the print stream is a very big winner from this whole thing. I know player 2 is one that I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on as well. I think the Hyper Beast is going to be great. A lot of these, like I said, upper mid tier to upper tier, not the ultra omega tier, anything like that, but I think those are going to be fine too. I definitely don't think this is bad news for the super high-end tier skins, but I think this is going to more affect the middle to upper tier, where people who are actually using these things for play skins and are now going to want to buy an additional play skin, that's where we're going to see a lot of the gains here. Over on the A4 side, like I said, I don't think this is a bad thing for the Howl, but I'm not saying like, oh, the Howl's going to freaking stonk tomorrow or anything like that. But, I could definitely see the Daybreak being a big winner from this thing. The Temu Cow, it sucks because it's still in an active case right now, but the Temu Cow could definitely be a big winner from this eventually. The Asimov I could definitely see going up. The Hellfire seems at least decent as well. I know that there is some more expensive bullet rains that I think could be okay. It's kind of weird because there's not as many like crazy good A4 skins or anything like that, but again, some of the upper tier, more expensive A4 skins I can really see doing pretty well over the coming months, especially once CS2 comes out and people start picking it up and start playing it and doing all these things. The Eye of Horus is definitely one that I would stay away from right now just because it's still in the Anubis collection package, which you can still buy from the store, so there's probably going to be a lot of those opened up. But Poseidon, Radiation Hazard, just kind of sorting by price and getting some of the ones at the higher end, I think are going to be big winners from this. It seems like, at least from my opinion, just from scrolling through real quick and kind of looking out, a lot of the bigger winners are going to be from the A1S side, because it just seems like there's some better A1S skins, some a little bit more rare, a little bit more interesting, a little bit better investment grade skins on this side. But yeah, when I just scroll through real quick, I definitely think Hot Rod, Blue Phosphor, Icarus Fell, Prince Stream, Hyper Beast, great over here. Player 2 even maybe pretty interesting. Like I said, on the A4 side, I like the Hellfire, I like the Asimov a lot. I could see this one really having a big run up. Temukau I think is going to do well as well, but I think it's actually still in an active case, so maybe not as well some of the other stuff, but the Daybreak, Poseidon for sure going to do really well from this whole thing. So I don't know, obviously I thought this was a really cool update. I'm very excited to be able to use both M4s. I'm really excited for all of the CSGO and CSGO 2 changes and all that stuff. Something I might want to talk about in a future video as well is obviously with people, if they are going to be using both M4s, that means they're going to have to not be using some other guns. So there's definitely some guns that could take a negative hit from this. I know some people are saying, hey, maybe the AUG or whatever the COD gun on the CT side is might be taking some hits here. Maybe the FAMAS, maybe one of the auto snipers or something like that could be taking a hit. So you could use this information to see things to maybe sell out of as well. But I don't really think I own any amazing M4A1S or M4A4s right now. I know I just bought a couple of Vulcans, so I've been putting my money into AKs recently because I do like a lot of the AK skins. I think they're going to be good long-term holds, but if I did own a mid to upper high tier M4 skin, I would definitely be holding on to it. I would definitely be ready to make a lot of money. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm definitely, leading up to the release of CS2, I'm definitely going to be looking at adding to my inventory and loading some money into these really nice and these M4s that I really believe in the mid to long term, because I do think they're going to do very well. And I think there's just now a very clear reason why there's going to be more demand for both of these guns really for the foreseeable future. But just want to get this info out to you guys because I know there was a lot of big CS2 changes today. I know a lot of people are getting excited about them gameplay wise, but I got the investing brain going crazy right now. So just wanted to share my thoughts and opinions. We'll have to see what happens, obviously. But yeah, that's my my ideas on the CSGO market right now, at least, post these new CS2 updates. But pretty much it was the video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.